This putter right here shocked the golfing world earlier this year at the first L.A.B golf event in Mexico. Sergio Garcia used this, and it's probably the most premium putter you have never heard of. It is 100% carbon fiber. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have unboxed this and had a sneaky peek. I'll be honest, I've never seen packaging like this before. It just speaks of, wow, premium Swiss engineering. Now this is called the Maker, and it's one of 7 carbon clubs they're going to be making. And I'm going to say my Manchester tone from Golfyr. It's Golfyr. I'm probably butchering that. So let's get it unboxed. Now, as I said, I have had this open once before, just because I was dying to get this unboxed when it arrived and landed on my doorstep. Like, you are going to see something here that I've never seen before in gold packaging. So you get a nice little booklet from the company. Again, this feels like, I'm going to say, very premium paper. They sort of give you all the technology that is in this putter, plus what is to come here. They've got something called the opener, the mover, the butter, the riser, the pitcher, and the saver coming, which we are going to test in the future. And we're testing the Maker Premier. This is what we're going to be testing, and they say it's a putter that puts a smile on your face. Straight away you get a very, very premium feel. We'll keep those. And it doesn't stop there. I mean, look at this. Wow. Just look at it. I don't even want to use it. Look at this. Look at this. So, one of us, you're now the owner, you're now the game maker. 12 years of rethinking and trying, and now it's here. This is number 334 of 500. And what's an interesting point, that apparently there is a waiting list to get one of these. So I'm being very lucky to get my hands on it. So let's get it unboxed even further. I mean, look at that, it's beautiful. I'm guessing that this would be the same for a driver, if I'm honest, because it's quite long. Okay, let's get this unboxed. You're not ready for this. You are not ready for this. Here we go. Now look at this. I have kept all the packaging on here to show you. It just screams premium. And it screams different, doesn't it? I mean, you're looking at it here thinking, it's a bit of a spaceship. I've never seen anything like this before. So let's take a look at this a little bit closer. I'm dying to see under this packaging what this carbon actually looks like. Oh, it's like unwrapping at Christmas. Even that's premium, right? Look at that. Okay, then we'll go off the bottom. Oh, that face feels weird, the grooves. Off the sides. I'm trying to do this one-handed so you guys can all see it. Okay, we are off. Look at that. That is, wow. The thing that sticks out to me is how glossy this carbon is here on the top and on the sides. The smoothness of the sides here, where you can clearly see where the top and bottom meets. Then on the underneath, wow. So you've got Premier, Maker, 3 degrees, Golf, yeah, I hope I'm saying that right. You've also got the little bit of the serial number for this one, BD1604. Other things that stick out to you here are this face. You've got sort of a 2-tone colour with loads of different grooves, almost like a bit of an insert. Now what is also intriguing me is this neck style, the shaft, and these sight lines. I like this, sort of out to one line. Now, with all these tests, we're going to be testing what does it sound like, what does it feel like, what does it play like, not only on short putts, but medium range, long, and felt confident. Those ones when we're inside 10 foot where we're like, yeah, we know what we should be making them. So come on, what is your first opinion of this putter? It just screams luxury, like the packaging. Now, there is one letdown that I'm going to tell you about this now. This really did disappoint me. When I unwrapped this, I was thinking leather, premium, like you could almost smell it. No. I mean, from something that looks so premium right there, yes, it's magnetized, which is fine, but it's just a bit minimalistic. Now, looking at the website, I know that's the kind of vibe they're going for, but I was expecting a little bit more. Like, look how good and premium the putter is, the packaging, the labelling, the handwritten note, and then this. Really, really, yeah, disappointing. Okay, let's start off with those short putts. I'm intrigued to see how I line this up, what it sounds like. As a full carbon putter, it's going to be a bit weird. I mean, look at that, right? You would not think when I take that off, you're going to get that underneath, would you? You're thinking cheap, low-end head cover. Now, I know a lot of people buy their own head covers, but I'm just a little bit disappointed. I'll stop banging on about that now. Let's just test the sound. Let me grab a golf ball here. Let me grab some of my balls here. I'm intrigued about this because I've never hit a full carbon putter before. Ooh, high-pitched. That's not the sound I thought I was going to get. What do you think of that sound, by the way? Quite tinny, quite clicky. Right, like as I just said, we're going to start with 3 putts in close proximity to that hole. Now, the price of this will shock you. We're going to start off with this length. I think they're called Dennis Wise, or knee knockers, apparently anyway, according to some of my friends. Okay, so 3-foot putts, we've got to make these. Now, this grip is really quite nice. You get a win grip with it, and it is very, very tacky, and I like that. I like how it goes from thin all the way to thick to sit nicely in your top hand. So let's look at this down behind the ball. Come on, look at this. When I'm placing that down, I love the look of the sight lines, and what I do like is the triangular outer and inner edges. That's this bit here and this bit here. It like narrows your focus in. Now, also, I'm going to add to this. It does look like a big clump. Like it's not the, I mean, I think it's pretty, but it's not the most traditional looking putter. But that being said, that's not what the brand's about. What's also interesting to me is that neck position. It's like, look at it there, your hands are like quite a way ahead of the golf ball. Now, like I said, this putter sent the internet into meltdown. So let's hit some of these short putts. See what, the weight of that feels nice, you know. Feels heavy, but feels balanced. Okay, here we go. Let's line this up. I don't know what this is going to sound like. That's so weird. That's so weird. I need you to sort of hear this. It sounds hollow. It sounds, I'm going to be perfectly honest, strange. Very, very strange. With that being said, it felt very good off the face. Lovely. Sounds bizarre, but you know what? I feel like I can line this up. The single line into the 2 near the putter, the shape of the head, the feeling of the weight. Very, very, very nice. Very nice. So look, let's talk a little bit of tech. So far, I've had a little bit of a gripe. It's that sound. And for me, that's massive. Absolutely massive. Let's talk a little tech though. Now, the first piece of technology I've got to tell you about, you've already seen, is the fact that this putter is 100% carbon. It contains 0% metal. Now, it does have 2 internal weights that run the full length of this putter from heel to toe. Now, this basically enlarges the sweet spot, and the result of this is striking area behind the ball is left hollow, which I think that sort of adds to the sound. This also, however, makes the sweet spot so much bigger. We now know we've hit a few putts, right? And this is what I'm starting to pick up on. These sight lines, these 2 right here, it's almost like it's like going, come on ball, line up in there, stay in there. That's really quite nice. I've not seen a putter with that sort of sight line before. You know what? I'm enjoying it. So look, those weights sit there. We saw that in the brochure at the start, and that means this bit's hollow, and I think that's why you get that feeling of it being a bit clunky and a bit like dong, like it's almost the sound is sort of reverberating round. Now, this is a startup company in Switzerland, and the whole idea is that they're making carbon golf clubs only, and you only need 7 golf clubs, and I'm dying to test the rest if I'm honest. So this length right here, that 10 to 12 feet, where we're like, we should make them, yeah? These are the ones we should make. So this is a little bit off the right, maybe a little bit straighter than I thought. I do like the position of this shaft, you know, and it does feel like it rocks really quite nicely. It feels really balanced. Maybe that's the carbon in this, and maybe that's the position of this shaft. Okay. How weird does that sound? It sounds weird. And you know what I'm finding hard to get used to is seeing this clumpiness here. But I guess that's just because it's different. Oof. Nearly. I think that was a bad putt, that. I'm enjoying the roll. You know what? It feels like the ball's rolling immediately off that face. And the pace control has been absolutely perfect, you know? Oh my Lord, referee! How did that miss? There were 3 really nice putts. I'm going to repeat what I've said so far though. The sound is really quite strange. Now have a look at that face here. You can see we've got outer grooves, inner grooves, and sort of like this triangular section up and out. I do feel that's giving me a nice roll. I have to say that. It does feel easy to get that roll, and the pace control has been brilliant. But we'll only know the true pace control if we go a little further out. So let's go down the bottom, up the Mackenzie, and test it from there. But before that, I did a little bit of research on what other people in the golf industry think of this putter. Now, before I read this review from Golf Monthly, what do you think of this putter? Does it look premium? Does it sound premium? Do you like the sound? Do you hate the sound? Do you even like the look of it? It just looks different. I'm also going to say this, what is weird is how deep this face is. It's quite big, isn't it? Like, really quite big. Now, reading this review, so Golf Monthly said this, the face of the putter is also very tall, which we mentioned. It also seems to help with the solidity of the strike and somewhat offset the hollow sound to which you make at the point of impact, and assisting placing it among some of the game improvement putters. Now, a lot of the comments are also that head cover doesn't match how premium this putter is. There's a lot of reference to sound, there's a lot of reference to look. It's quite interesting. Now, the people that I think are going to be buying this, it's very high-end. It's going to be people that want to stand out from the crowd, want something that's very different, not something everybody else can get their hands on. So, let's test some longer putts now. This is probably where the acoustics are really going to start to sound quite strange. Oh, that sounds weird. Sounds weird. Pace control's bob on though, you know? Bob on. I think I little heeled that as well, which is quite good that it's got the distance on it. I have to say, that's rolling immediately. Get in the hole, please. Get in the hole. Oh, I'll tell you what. Do you know what? Usually, like when you hit a putt, you get a bit of skid. I'm feeling like it's sort of rolling immediately. Maybe it's that deeper face. Maybe it's that feel. It is, yeah. Do you know, I can't quite put my finger on what it actually is. We'll hit that a bit hard. You know what though? I'm actually impressed with that. In the sense, the sound wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought with hitting it hard, it's going to be a bit more clunky. You know what? I've never seen anything like this before, hence why I'm a little bit, I guess, lost for words. You know what though? We all wanted them, didn't we? Now we do have some more putts to hit to get my full opinion on this. But look, Carbon Technologies. This is what we're sort of talking about here. Number one, Carbonics fundamentals, distributes your energy, 100% carbon body, 0% metal. Number two, that's this bit, balances. That was those weights I was on about that run from the back to the front. Perfect sound and feel, point number three, that's off here apparently. Number four, play strong and stay strong. And number five, a huge sweet zone. Now, I'm thinking this, right? Do we think it sounds different because it's just a different material? We're used to metal putters with sort of a moulded insert, or if you're on Scotty Cameron, just a complete metal, I think 303 stainless steel. It's gonna sound different. It's a completely different material. So maybe it's not that it sounds weird, it sounds different because now we're looking at something that is a very high-end material. I mean, carbon, right? Name it in anything, it increases the price point, which we are going to talk about in a second, but I need to hit some more putts first. I have got a conclusion so far that I'm going to say this is probably one of the best weighted putters I've ever had in my hands. It's very pleasant. It's just so pleasant to have here. We're going to get these gradually a little further. So we've got there, probably got about 10, and we'll go here, and out. We're going to get closer a little bit every single time. You know, it's also quite nice. Even though the top of that club's quite shiny, it's obviously gloss carbon finish, you don't get any glare back. You can't see your reflection, which is one thing I was worried about. And that's even coming from sunny Manchester. It's not, it's a bit wet. But it's not something that's glaring back at you. Okay, I think I'm going to hold the few here. I really do. Felt confident. Hello. One thing I think that would probably put you off is how chunky that is. It looks so weird. It does, it really does. That was such a good putt, you know. A solid feel, that. That's him. I'm in shock right now. I cannot believe it has just done that. Cannot believe that. Here we go. Third one. That's not as good a putt. Not as good a putt, but you know what? Not terrible. The feel almost feels like it's going to rock back, and you can be a little bit aggressive in that hit. What I was worried about was these things, and I'll tell you what I was worried about and then what I like about it, and then the big thing, the price point, which will shock you. I was worried about the sound, okay? I was also worried about the feel off here. Would it feel really hard, really clunky? And then, could I get used to this visual? Okay, they're the things I was worried about. The sound, I'm going to say this, it's different. You've heard that. The hollowness, I think, adds to it being different, but also it's a completely different technology in the sense of its carbon. That's going to add to that sound. It's not unpleasant. Now, the shape of the head, I don't really like that so much in the sense of the chunkiness. It's not so much the back bit here that I don't mind. I like the lines in this narrowing you're focusing. It's the depth of that face. It's different. I keep using that word different, but it is completely different in what that gives you. The question is, would I game it? Yes, is the answer to that question. And you know why? For a few reasons. I know it sounds a little bit weird. I know it looks a little bit chunky down here. Felt confident. But I really enjoyed the feel of the face on those short putts, the medium, and especially those long ones. Look, I mean, look how many putts I held. Now, I'm going to read the price out here for you and just take a seat. Take a seat. So the price of this putter is £562. Now, I'm guessing you could have expected it to be somewhere above a Scotty Cameron price. Did you expect it to be way above? Like the packaging, the whole thing that you get, the fact there's a waiting list, the fact that it's made in Switzerland, and that it's a startup company that don't make a lot. It gives it that premium feel. You're definitely going to turn some heads with this putter for all the right reasons. One, on looks, but two, keep people guessing about what actually it is. It's impressive. It's seriously cool too, and that.